we'll call the meeting to order. It's 2:35, it looks like.
Yep.
And, Monday, December 14th. And any public input, that doesn't look like it. We have no one here online. So we're gonna move ahead to the minutes of the November 9th meeting. So we'll take a look at those.
Under the municipal agent, Mary, if you just stick a B on my name, then we're all set.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I know better than that, right?
No, that's okay.
Oh, shoot, let me turn this off. It's the block, all block. Okay.
I'll move that we accept the minutes of the meeting for discussion.
And I'll second.
You did a good job, man.
Okay, so,
Oh, yeah.
if everybody agrees, then all in favor of accepting the minutes of the November 9th meeting,
God
say
bless you,
aye.
thank you.
Aye. Any opposed? No. So, and no further discussion right now? So, well, the motion is carried, right? Thank you.
Should be pretty close to last time, right?
It is. You have a little bit different format today because, my old stuff is on my old computer. And it's probably destined for the chopping block. But, so I was home alone and I'm not smart enough to figure out how to get it from one place to another. So you have the basic information that I got. If you look at the budget, I don't think we need to worry about it at all this year. We're here 6 months into the budget. 6 months? Yeah,
Right,
6 months
right.
into actually, it's 5 months, because this is only up till November. This is up to the 1st of December. So it's
In
really
December, we're closed.
And, yeah.
We're closed again, so,
Oh, is that right?
yeah.
So
So,
as long as you're closed, is everybody working or what's the?
I'll go over that in the minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
But besides the salary of the staff, there's, virtually very
No
few expenses, if any.
Okay. I don't think I had any additional thing. The only thing that I didn't give you was the comparison from, not from last year. I think you have all of the information. I didn't give you the monthly cash receipts, but they haven't really changed that
Mhm.
much, so you're not really missing any information. The most important thing is what's in the budget and what we have left in the budget.
Right,
So as you see,
plenty to play with.
Yeah,
Right.
nothing
Yes.
to worry about.
and the way things are going, we probably don't have to worry about it. Although if the vaccine gets out, hopefully we'll be able to get back.
Yeah,
Oh, wouldn't that be
today's
good?
day one, isn't that something?
Yeah,
At least there's hope.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right, that's
yeah.
right, Mary.
doing something positive.
Yep.
I make a
So,
motion, we accept the treasurer's report.
Great, and I'll second it.
do you have any other questions or anything more that you'd like to have on the report that I don't have on here? Because this is really a simplified report. To go with the simplified
I know,
situation.
budget that we have, yeah. this-
Yeah.
That looks good, okay. So I move that we already did that. So all in favor of accepting the treasurer's report, say aye. Opposed? None? And no further discussion, so we're off with that. Lisa with the Senior Center Director's Report.
Okay. For old business, the awning over the senior center social room is tattered and faded. It needs to be replaced. The senior center received 2 quotes for awnings and 1 quote to replace the senior center sign located above the awning that needs to be replaced. A decision will be made with the staff and presented to Matt Knickerbocker for review and approval. Lisa had a conversation with Brad Herring regarding the secretary for the Commission on Aging, asking what account her fee is taken out of. Going forward, her fee will be taken out of the boards and commissions account, not the senior center account, as it has been in the past.
Good, we got that straight.
Yeah.
New business, the Bethel Senior Center closed as of December 1st due to the rise in virus numbers in our community. As a result of closing, Marisa Paula, Senior Center aide, has decided to take a leave of absence until April 1st. The Bethel Senior Center staff taped Eileen Burns' yoga class to be put online as a virtual class. As of the present time, 4 programs are online: chair yoga, Zumba, balance, and art class. The staff is looking into Zoom classes as well. The advantage of virtual programs over the Zoom programs are that members may access them at any time. They are not restricted to a specific time. Also, the instructor is paid each time a Zoom program is presented with no income collected. We had a company donate dog and cat food for the senior center. We called members who had animals and offered the food to them. All the food that was collected was delivered to them. The senior center staff has noticed a shift in members' situations as staff is making telephone calls to them. People are discouraged and have mentioned being depressed and feeling isolated. This was particularly noted during the time around Thanksgiving for those not able to be with their families due to the pandemic. The senior center staff is planning a holiday drive, Santa for Seniors, to our most vulnerable members and/or those whom frequent the senior center often. The staff has identified 119 members to visit. The staff has asked the community for gifts for senior citizens, including gift cards. The response was overwhelming. UK Gourmet donated 120 packages of tea, cookies, and jam for each recipient. A woman donated handmade Christmas lap quilts, and several members of the community donated various items from food, chapstick, bath items, socks, hats, gloves, and many gift cards were collected as well. This will help those in need to purchase food for the holidays as well. The staff was made aware that some members who do not qualify for assistance due to their income are having a difficult time during the pandemic. These are people who cannot access the food pantry or do not qualify receiving a delivery from Brotherhood in Action. The Bethel Senior Center staff are planning to begin to deliver the gifts this week. The Senior Center was informed last week that the Grab and Go program is out of funding and will be canceled as of December 30th, 2020. There was a Zoom meeting with all the area senior centers on Friday, December 11th, explaining the reason for the cancellation and allowing participants to voice their ideas, opinions, and/or frustrations. A letter and application from the Commissioner of the Department of Aging and Disability Services was received. This application is for funding from the Connecticut Senior Center Project CARES Act funding. The Bethel Senior Center will complete and submit the application for additional funding in an effort to continue to provide meals for those senior citizens in our community.
I move that we accept the report for discussion.
Second.
That was great, which, with 120 packages and everybody, for the 119 people.
I tell you, if you're feeling down in the dumps, just take a peek in that room of what people in this community donated. It is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Like a room almost this size, the activity room downstairs is packed full of it. People just kept coming and coming and coming.
Which was really by word of mouth and Facebook. Right?
Yeah, I put it out online on
Oh, my
Facebook.
goodness, that's great.
And then I sent a email to all the, the members that have email. And I guess the word spread, but one lady made these beautiful little lap quilts,
Oh.
Christmas design, hats that are knit, handmade, mittens, gloves. I mean, it's just socks, slippers, sweaters. I mean, really unbelievable. So a lot of people are getting big bags of things with gift cards and, everything from chapstick and shampoo and soap and toothpaste and to stationery and whatever we can throw in there for them, you
You
know.
try to personalize them with the people?
We did, we
Yeah.
definitely did.
Who has more need than somebody else?
Yep, yep.
And how are we gonna get them to them?
We're driving them, and we were gonna do it, Wednesday, but because of the storm, we're gonna go tomorrow and Wednesday. There's an awful lot. I said,
Yeah,
I don't
Wednesday
think we
morning
can
will
get
be
it done in one day,
I
but,
know. You're taking the van or you're?
Yeah.
Yeah.
so, what's his name? Andy already decorated the van with lights inside,
Oh,
and we'll dress as, we dressed last week as Santa and elves and a reindeer when people came for the grab and go, so we'll do that again when we got, you know, when we go deliver the gifts.
and the grab and go was well.
Just,
received.
you know, make them smile and
Oh,
perk them
it's
up a little
great.
bit, and,
Do they don't know what's coming though?
no, nobody
So that'll be a
knows
nice
about
surprise.
it, yeah.
If they're not there, do you leave it in?
And it's not everybody, which might be a little slippery slope, but it's the most vulnerable, but if somebody does approach us, we'll definitely give them something. We're
Something.
gonna have some empty bags with us, you know, with no name on it, but filled with items, and, it's just really to hit the most vulnerable of the
Mhm.
population, so.
The isolation. the ones
But when
that-
we started adding up the numbers, there were a lot of them. I mean, over 100 is a lot of people, you know, so.
And that just probably touches the iceberg, you know.
Oh, yeah, Judy. You know, it was when we were calling people in the beginning, we really felt that people would be, Judy kept saying to me, seniors are strong and they're resilient, and I believe that because they've been through a lot. However, I did expect people to be upset with the virus and
Mm.
nervous, and everybody, I mean, 100% we're doing well and have people shop for them, and we're managing fine and just staying in and being safe. And then come Thanksgiving time, a couple weeks before Thanksgiving, people actually called the office and just broke down and, you know, are just really, it went like 180 the other way.
Mm.
And we said, we have to do something for them because they're not seeing anybody. And that's really what the problem is. It's not that they want gifts, it's that they want to see people.
That's
They're
right.
lonely.
Yeah.
You wanna touch, everybody wants to touch something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
haven't been able to do that either. I noticed that even with myself. And
Yeah.
you know, I'm home and I have somebody in the house with me, but
Mm.
it's not the same as being out and seeing somebody else that you don't see all the time. And I told someone this morning that called me from Maine, and I said, I don't even wanna talk to people on the phone, because I have nothing to say. I
Yeah.
haven't been
What have you been
anywhere, I don't do
doing?
anything, and
Right.
I have nothing to say. Well, I stood at the window and I watched the birds today. And
Yeah.
it's like, after a while, you just can only do so much of it.
It's true. It's so true.
It is.
But everybody's in that same boat together.
Yeah.
And that's why this support from the community for people that they don't even know. And, you know, it was just really so heartwarming that that's what we want to bring out to the seniors, that people are thinking about you, people do care about you, and we're here if you need us,
Mhm.
you know.
So you got this information out mostly on Facebook? Is
We
that what you
did, I put it on Facebook, I put it on, that Buy Nothing site. It was on, and then we put an email to all the members, so a lot of the emails, Judy, went into people's spam account.
That must have been what happened to me.
That's
A lot of
It
people
always
complain
happens
to us
me.
about that. We've sent the newsletter
Yeah.
and we've sent, several different spurts out, the book club, different special events we've had, and people are like, I'm not getting any of this.
It's all in the spam.
Well, because it's such a big folder, because there's so many members on it, that's what happens, your computer won't recognize it, but once you put it into your inbox, it'll recognize it from now on. So just take a peek at it if it's in there.
And now on Facebook, that's a group, you can find Bethel Senior Center? No?
Not yet, we just put it as, like Rosemary put it on her page, and then
Oh,
she put it so that people could share it, I put it on mine, people could share it, so then it goes all over the place.
so I'd have to be your friend to see it, I guess.
No, because it gets shared publicly. But, you
Alright.
know, when you're on Facebook, there's a million things, so it's
Okay.
just if it happens to come up, I guess.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but if you get our email newsletters, then you would have gotten a flyer. It was called, Santa for Seniors. You check your spam account, it might be in there.
Okay.
So, Elijah, just for my own knowledge, because I don't quite understand it, the Zoom program versus the virtual program, I understand the Zoom, you like today, you sign in and you're on it, and it's right then. The
Right,
virtual program is anytime.
right, so a virtual is like a videotape.
So
You
where
did,
do we find that?
so you go under the Senior Center newsletter.
Okay,
So Town of Bethel, departments, senior center, then newsletter. When you get to the senior center page, you scroll down to newsletter. No, I'm sorry. When you get to the senior center page, you scroll down to virtual programs.
Oh, okay.
I saw them there,
and
yeah,
then
at
you-
one point.
Yeah, and it's kind of fun.
It's
I mean,
easy
you
to
can do
do.
it at your own home.
Any of us could do Zumba at any time.
Anytime, and the thing is that anybody across the country can do it. It's not locked into our members because it's just the Town of Bethel website. The problem with Zoom is that every time I have a Zoom program, I need to pay the instructor. And I can do that. I have money in the budget to do that. But I'm not sure how many people,
The
it's
older
how many
people.
people have a computer, number one.
And know how to
How
do
many
it.
people that have the computer are gonna use it for that particular program? And get locked into it. So some towns are doing it, but the word that we're hearing when we meet with all the senior centers in Connecticut, we're in this one group that does that every 2 weeks, is that they're really fading. People are tired of getting on there. Some people are saying they don't have room in their home to do exercise, particularly like in Reynolds Ridge and Simeon where it's a little tight.
Small, yeah.
So that would be the case whether it's Zoom or virtual. But maybe they can do some of it, like a chair yoga. You just sit in the chair, you know?
Now,
So,
does the program change every week or
so
every
no,
month? or-
virtual is set all the time.
It's
And
the
that's an
same-
advantage of Zoom. Zoom
Right.
can change. The other thing is Zoom, you can converse with other people.
Right.
But our feeling was that in an exercise class, you're not conversing. You can, what one of the teachers told us she does in another town is she gets on 15 minutes before
Mhm.
and stays 15 minutes after. So during that period, people can chat with each other online. So that is an advantage.
You also have to be, signed, you have to be signed in too.
Right, right. So even if they have a computer, right, you have to know how to do Zoom or, you know, get in there.
No, the
But
virtual
it's not difficult
Yeah, the
once you
virtual is
do it.
very easy.
The
You just,
virtual is,
click
makes
on it
sense, and
and-
you
Yeah.
don't want to.
yes,
And I pay the instructor for setting it up and doing the program for me, and then that's it, you know,
That
so.
absolutely makes sense.
Yeah, I thought that was sort of a win-win, and
It's a
I
great
like the
idea.
idea that people can access at any time, that they're comfortable, they're not locked into a certain time. So I think both have their advantages, but it seemed the virtual was a little better for us right now.
yeah, everything, you have to kind of make up as you go along, and that's
Yeah,
a great
yeah.
fix for what's going on. Yeah.
One of the other centers has this device where they can do all kinds of programs, particularly lunch and learn and lectures and things. You get this device and people can plug in their cars to a radio station and hear what's going on. So we could have speakers and things like that. I'm not so sure in the winter people would come out for that. And I also need an area where people can kind of park together. So it would be an advantage if they could see the person who they're listening to. So that's something that we're looking into anyway.
Well, we have to be hopeful that this will soon be over and we'll have vaccines out there. Have you heard anything at all about the vaccine? Oh, well, that'll be new.
Yeah,
Because I heard on the radio this morning that, health departments are going to be frontline in the different towns.
yeah. Laura did talk to me. She's been talking to me right along about, you know, when it's time for the seniors, she'll pull me into one of the meetings, but that's really their call, you know, the health department and who's ever on that emergency committee. I would just be a guest at that.
It was saying the vaccines are gonna go to CVS and places like that.
Yeah, they're gonna see if they held some kind of a clinic, you know, I guess they did that before for the,
One of the
yeah.
one of the things that were going around. I spoke with my cardiologist this morning and asked him about taking it, and he said, well, with a heart issue, you should be at the, you know, at the top of the heap.
Oh,
Oh.
good.
You know, it should be a priority.
Is that something you'd like to get?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, my opinion changed on that too.
Yeah.
Well, in the beginning, when you weren't sure if it was safe, that's what they were reporting,
Well, it was
and,
too unknown.
right, right, but, I think versus getting the virus, I think it's a great thing to get the vaccine.
And I asked him this morning, I said, what do you think about with the vaccine that's coming? He says, well, my answer is, I'm taking the first chance I get.
Yeah,
And he said, that's the only answer that you need.
okay,
So I had already said, I would just, you know, even though you're careful, I think we still have to be careful. I did read somewhere that somebody said, oh, we won't have to wear masks anymore. Well, that's not true, because not everybody's going to be doing this.
Right.
So,
Right.
it's still gonna be a long slog,
Yeah.
before we get through all
Oh, it'll be
this.
spring, at least.
Yeah, I
that's
think
the
so.
same for the masks, most people. Yeah. It said, I think they said December 21st is like the first person will get a shot in Connecticut in their arm, actually.
All of the
Even
first,
though they were getting them today,
the
right?
first vaccine ended up at the Hartford Hospital this morning. They were
Oh,
the
so
first ones
why
to
would
die.
they hold on to it?
I thought they said they were vaccinating
They
the
will-
staff there
Yeah, they
today.
will.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Okay. Maybe they
I
meant the
know-
general public on the
Yeah.
21st.
and Danbury had some #1 thing too. I don't know what that was about, but.
Actually, most of them are in the nursing homes, right? Those are really vulnerable, because
Yeah.
they're in such close
Mhm.
quarters, and probably air quality and all of the rest of the stuff that goes on.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And there's 2 shots. Like
Yes.
3 weeks apart, yeah.
What did they say? Someone had, very little reaction to the first one, but more to the second one, which
Yeah.
is exactly the same thing that happens to the shingle shot.
Ah,
First
really?
one, oh, this piece of cake. And everybody says after the second one, oh,
I know, I've been putting that off a little bit.
Me too. I gotta do that too. Okay.
Okay, so, if there's no more discussion, all in favor of accepting the, commission, the director's report, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And all opposed, no, so. that's
Can I,
all
can I
set.
just ask one more question about this, grab and go stuff?
Yeah.
Is that, when you're looking for funding, is that the same as the, Meals on Wheels kind of thing? Is that
It
where
is,
comes
it
from?
is. So we've been doing it out back, every Wednesday since April, and people come. Our numbers were around, the highest was 26, and we're down to now about 12 pretty consistently. And I think a couple of reasons. I think one is people are getting tired of the food. I think people are more comfortable going out shopping, although the numbers are going up again, so people are getting a little more hesitant. I shopped for people with COVID, April, May, June, and then it kind of weaned off in the summer, and I haven't done any in a while. And then, just recently, I've done about 4 families again, so the numbers are going up again, so, yeah, so anyway, they ran out of money because they used some of the money for all the prep stuff they had to do, the PPTs and all the different, changes they had to make to the vans, I guess, delivering the food and all the different things they had to use the money for. And the number of people they were serving increased so much more than what it previously had the year before. So they were gonna run out of money, they said completely by, I don't know, February, March or something. And so they decided to end this grab and go now. I had a conversation with Matt this morning about it, because the people that we're serving, it seems to me, I can't be certain, but it seems to me that it's out of a convenience rather than a need for them to be here, because they're talking about going to restaurants,
Oh,
going out with their friends, doing different things. Not unsafe, I'm not implying that, but I'm just saying they're able to get out to stores and restaurants and things.
So they can get food elsewhere.
Yeah, where the people that were really in need, that were a part of this program in the beginning, have opted out of it. And we told them if it was a matter of money, they pay $6 a week in a donation. They don't have to pay anything. It is a free program, but still in all, they decided to opt out. They didn't want it anymore.
Mhm.
So, we'll keep our eye out if people are really in need for food. But they haven't, if they are, they haven't participated in this program, or are not now. That's our feeling anyway. So there's a company that is doing meals through the Amber Room, and it's been on the news, and I've heard about it. So I'm gonna approach them and see what's going on there, if they may be able to do it. They're of course all food certified. They package the food the right way to have it dispersed into the community. So that's one idea we had, maybe some restaurants in town. But Meals on Wheels has a wait list, so it's an option, but it's not a real good option for people, because if they do need food, they'd have to go on the wait list.
Could you, is there any such a thing as even having, like you had a few years ago, the coupons for, I think it was for,
Yeah, the Sycamore
the
list.
Sycamore, I think it was Jacqueline.
Yeah, when I first came, there were a couple in town, and that was a state program that they
Oh, it
don't offer
was?
anymore.
Okay.
It was, yeah, because they must have paid the difference to those restaurants.
Yeah.
And they don't offer that anymore, but who's to say they may not do something for us if we approach them? So that's one thing we're gonna look into.
Yeah.
And see, we were talking among the staff downstairs, and one of the problems is it has to be packaged the right way to give it to them. We don't have any kind of packaging system in the senior center, because we thought, well, maybe we could make a couple meals a week, but it all has to follow the right protocol for the, food delivery too, so.
I think you're better off supporting the local businesses rather
Yeah.
than trying to do that. Because even I felt guilty when I'd stay downstairs, because somebody else could have been using that food, but
Yeah,
the times that I would have stayed for one.
yeah, but we always had enough, Judy, don't feel that way ever, and we never question anybody, we're glad to have anybody that wants to come.
You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
No, I do.
But what I'm saying is that, maybe your time, when we get out of all of this, might be better used with something else, rather than trying to figure out how to package up food safely.
Right.
And support these local businesses, because they're hurting.
Yeah.
There's gonna be businesses that are just gonna disappear.
Yeah.
If things don't change. We're better off, actually, we need to be grateful, we're better off in New York City or New York
Oh,
or
definitely.
some other places, but,
Yeah.
um,
Well, some of the directors were quite upset that we're on the Zoom meeting on Friday, because their people really rely on this, particularly Danbury.
Denver.
And they haven't had any programs at all. Their health department hasn't allowed them to, because the numbers are so high in Danbury, but they've been offering meals and driving them to the people. They don't have the grab and go where people drive to them, which is very nice, because there's some people that can't get out of their home. So that's a nice option for them to be able to do that, but they can't do it anymore. So they were very frustrated with the decision that was made. And if you put this application in for the grant, there's not a decision made till the end of January. So that's all of January that people will go without food, so.
Does this also affect the Meals on Wheels program the meals program that you have downstairs for all of the senior centers?
It's considered a congregate meal program, so we could have the congregate meal program downstairs if we were allowed to be open, which we're not.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
In normal times, you'll go back to that?
Yes,
Yeah.
we're very hopeful to, because people seem to
That
love
was,
it.
yes, yeah, it was
And
very popular.
It's affordable, and they love it, and
And good socialization.
It's a camaraderie.
yes, that's the main
Right,
thing.
Exactly. It's always easier to eat with people you don't know when you're eating food, because you can say, I don't like this.
Yeah.
And it starts a conversation.
Right.
I've met a lot of people down there that I didn't know, which that's not unusual. I don't know anybody anymore.
Yeah.
But, well,
Yeah,
that's
but hopefully that it will go in the right direction.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know, that
yeah.
things will be able to open up.
yeah,
At least there's a light at the end of the tunnel now.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so shall we go on to the municipal agents report?
Sure.
Okey dokey.
The municipal agent has had several calls regarding the Medicare open enrollment period. Referrals were given. A call was received from a husband regarding his wife, who was in a skilled nursing facility and being asked to leave when he felt she was not ready and adequate services were not in place for her to be at home. Referrals were given. Assistance was given to a member's husband. The member passed away, and the husband had no burial or insurance. In addition, a meal was brought to him. A call was received from a Bethel resident who stated he was once very wealthy, but has been out of work and went through all of his savings over the past months due to the pandemic. He'll lose his apartment in December and had financial difficulties. Referrals were given. A letter was sent by the administrator to Bethel Healthcare. A letter was sent by the administrator of Bethel Healthcare to the Bethel Health Director stating that residents of the Bethel Healthcare Center had been isolated for months and were lonely. A pen pal program was started at Bethel Healthcare with the Bethel community by the Bethel Senior Center. Calls were received inquiring about senior housing. Information and referrals were given. A meeting was held with Tom Galliford, Fire Chief, Megan Allworth, social worker, and Lisa Plum regarding a blight issue in town. A call was received from a resident needing a home health aide. Referrals were given. Lisa has been shopping for several families with COVID that have been quarantined. This is a favor to assist the health director who is extremely busy with the pandemic.
What was the blight?
The what?
The blight?
Blight is when somebody's property is messy and, and then,
I get it.
yeah, and then they, there's an officer, I guess, that goes in and the person has to clean it up. And if they don't, and it's a public health problem, then that's when the health director and the fire chief go in if it's an unsafe situation. We've had a few of them over the years where we go to the person's house and, you know, try to help them and talk to them about things, but some people don't see a problem. Other people, you know, don't want to fix any problem that they have. They just want to stay how it is. So, but it's very dangerous, some of them. Some of them are mental health issues, you know, the person living there, and
Sure.
they deny there's a problem, so.
Well, like someone once said to me when I was at the senior center, you can't dictate how other people live,
Yeah,
you know, or how they want to live, you know.
or help somebody if they don't want to be helped.
That's true.
Yeah, a different perception.
Yeah,
I move that we accept the municipal agent's report for discussion.
And I second.
And I do have a question about, was the call legitimate about the Bethel resident who was very wealthy and out of work, went through his savings and all this
well,
stuff?
you know, I can't tell really, to be honest with you, on the phone, so I asked him a lot of questions, and then it started going in different, you know, directions, and it was a little bit of a bizarre situation. But, you know, you have to try to still help the person if he's going to be evicted from his apartment. So that's the part where I jump in. The other stuff is, it's too much, you know, as far as that he really needs a little mental health counseling, and I'm not qualified to do that. So I can give him referrals to go to, but I can't do it
Make them
myself.
do it, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Now, the pen pal program, is that working well?
Well, I won't know. I can call the activity director from, I think he was reaching out because he was so frustrated, the administrator at Bethel Healthcare, and the fact that he's seeing these people that are months and months and months in their room and not able to leave their room. They're not having dining services together. They're not having activities together. They're not allowed to see their family. For a while, they could see him once every 2 weeks, but I think that stopped now that the numbers are going up again. And so it's very difficult on the patients. And I think he was just reaching out to say, is there anything in the town? What can we do? And then Laura sent a letter to a lot of department heads. And I thought, well, this is one thing we can try to do. So we just put it online. People called the center, and, you know, they're going to, last time it got very specific. They had to get people's permission in order for them to send a letter to them to give their name out because it was a confidentiality thing. So this time I said, let's send all the letters to the activity director and she can give them out to who she deems, you know, would be appropriate for them. So that's what we did this time. It was very simple. And so people, when they call us, we give them the address and send it to this person's attention, make it a general letter, and if the person writes back, they do. If they don't, I sent a few. I haven't gotten any letters back yet. So.
But it's a good idea.
It's a cheerful thing, if nothing else, I
Right.
guess, for the moment.
It doesn't
Yeah,
cost
you do what
anything.
you
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Well, it sounds like you've been very busy month.
Well, different things than usual, that's for sure.
Okay, all in favor of accepting the municipal agent's report, say aye. Aye. All opposed? No. And no further discussion, so we'll go on to, the social services report.
I think we have it in front of you, Megan left it, she's.
Okay, we'll take a look, it's,
and,
yeah, it's not long.
Christmas stuff, so.
I move that we accept the report.
One second.
There you go, good. All in favor of accepting the, social services report, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Nope. So that's carried. And now we're on to old business.
Old business. Lisa, did you find out, get any information about the awning and about the?
I did. So I'd like your opinion on something. So the awning, I said to him, you know, let's have it blend with the building nicely. So we thought, you know, maybe that brick color red that, you know, is kind of the school colors in town too. And then the more Rosemary and I were talking, I said, you know, when people are on the road and you point out where the senior center is, you can say the blue canopy that's a contrast to the building.
That's
So
right.
now we're thinking maybe it's best to have something completely
Other
opposite.
than-
So
yeah.
he did send us colors, a color chart. Some are just solid, and then there's some with the stripe, what we have now. Same price, so it's just a matter of preference, really.
That'll look nice, all blue stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
Make a difference, yeah.
So it shows the stripe here. I don't know, I guess I don't have one with the stripe on it. Oh, here it is. So it's just this, it's either,
Oh.
Hmm.
Do you have a preference?
not really.
I think the blue is.
Yeah,
well, I like
because
the blue.
it pops right out.
Well, we did say the blue too. I said, why don't we just get what we already had up there? This one lasted a long time. It's very good quality fabric.
Did you find out where it came from? Did it come from Durkin?
I don't know if it came from Durkins, but he said he can replace it and doesn't have to take that hardware down, so that's
Oh, that's
good.
good.
Yeah, so the quotes came in at, for Durkins, I haven't received the other guy's quote yet, but this came in as 2,481.
Installed.
Yep. Yep, it's a sunbrella fabric. I mean, the guy's real nice to work with, and then this is a sign similar to what it was, but this is actually metal, not a wood sign.
Oh,
And this came in at $15.75. It says single-sided V carved and painted, which probably would be similar to that, would be $15.75. A single-sided PVC printed and laminated, $6.90. And then to dispose of the original $150, install a new sign $200. So it'd be $6.90 plus those costs. And then to recover the existing awning with new sunbrella material, choice of your color was the $21.50. He says $21.56. But then they have to remove the old, and then he added tax and all that. It comes out to $24.81. So.
So you're looking at a metal sign, a long metal sign? Is that
Yeah,
the
so
way
it's
it is?
the same size as that sign with the same lettering. I don't know if we want to do gold again or have a white or, you know, anything that sticks out so people can see it is really the
So
main.
if you're doing metal though, you could be different colors of that too, right?
Right, I would think so. So if we do a blue awning, do we want to do a blue sign above it or, you know, doesn't matter one way or the other to me. Blue is kind of nice though, with what was out there before.
Does it have to be the same size or can it be big enough so that the letters can be seen from the street? White on blue letters?
Yeah, you can do white on blue. I guess you can do anything. He just showed it and what it was already, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, the gold is
It's hard to read
Kinda,
with
yeah,
this one,
it
right?
blends in a bit.
I think the
yeah.
other one, because it was carved, it was a little bit easier,
Uh-huh,
but,
right, right.
yeah, I think maybe a blue with white, that would be nice.
So you're looking at 1575 for the sign then?
Yeah,
And 24 for the,
Does that include everything?
let's see, it says, single-sided, V-carved and painted, forest green with gold metallic paint, raspberry trim, 1575. Single-sided PVC printed and laminated, 690. He doesn't say anything on this about, installation.
So your first one, is that a wooden sign then?
It must be single-sided, V-carved and painted. Because he had told me,
You don't want that. You want something that would stand up, I would think.
Like
Metal
more-
signs, like they're using on all the rest of the stuff out there.
yeah, like a metal sign, right,
Yeah.
or the carved. Or this, it looks to me like, I'll have to call him on this, but it looks to me like it's the metal one, the way that he printed it, you know? I'll call him, and I'm still waiting on one more quote from somebody else.
So we know how we're gonna pay for that?
No, unless I'm allowed to use the money in the budget that we haven't used. That might be an option this year,
If not, put it in your capital expenditures in next year's budget.
yeah.
Well, I told you that the Friends of the Bethel Seniors, they could, we never had a meeting, but, you know, that's something that could be done.
That'd be great,
It's something that could be done as long as you decide what you want to do. It has to be something that's, durable.
yeah.
now the wood wouldn't be as durable, but if it's carved, it would stand out more, maybe, you know, the lettering.
Well, this other one, what do you think, Judy? That must have been up there 20 years, right, or?
Well, went up shortly after they moved in, and they moved in 1996.
So it
So
stood
you're
the
over
test
20
of time pretty
24
darn
years,
good.
Yeah.
25 years, yeah.
I'd say that was good value.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, somebody, I think one of the Burks made it down at the woodworking shop at the town. Well, they both need to be replaced.
Yeah,
There's no doubt about that. But you're saying that the PVC, why is that so much cheaper?
it sounds like it's plastic.
Yeah, PVC is the, stuff that they make pipes out of.
Right, PVC printed and laminated, so it must be a plastic sign. It doesn't seem to me that that would be very durable, right? Over time, it's gonna crack.
yeah, or discolor and stuff. With the
Oh,
melting
it says remove and dispose, original sign is 150. Must be for them to get up there and take it down, and then to install a new sign is 200. So it's 350 on top of whatever the price is. So you're looking at like right around 1900 for this sign, I guess. 1900 and then 2156 for the awning. Well, no, it's 24 because of the tax and everything.
But you'll get 2 more quotes, is that it?
One more quote, I had one other guy come, yep.
Who's into doing this kind of stuff?
This is the guy that did the sign out in front, they
Howard
call,
Vajayjee?
what's his name?
Howard Vajayjee?
Yeah. Everybody in town seems to know him, I don't know him. And then he works with this guy that's called the Sign Guy, and that's Joe Andrews, do you know him? So he came and, you know, did the measurements and all that business, but then when we were talking, he said, well, he works with this Howie. Is that his name, Howie? Yeah, he works with Howie, and so Howie, one of them makes the signs and the other one installs them, but they work together on all their jobs. So I think the quote is gonna be the same, to be honest with you, because they do everything together.
What about Signorama? Do they do stuff like that?
I don't know.
Signorama is over in Commerce Park?
Yeah, I don't know, I could try them.
Well,
He
you
said
don't
get
need
the
to-
price of whoever did the sign out front, because it was real nice, and that's who did it, this, Howie.
You mean the maroon sign with the gold letters?
With the municipal center,
Yeah, oh, they're beautiful.
aren't they
Yeah,
nice?
yeah.
Yeah.
Those
So-
are metal signs, aren't they? Aren't they metal?
I don't know, I thought they were carved wood, I don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't know
They
either,
just look
Judy.
very
I
attractive.
just assumed it was wood, but maybe it's not.
I wonder.
Yeah.
For some strange reason, I thought they were. Oh,
I guess the town uses him, they said, for everything, you know, all the signs.
So wouldn't we
now.
want to do the same thing for continuity?
Yeah, you know,
The same type of?
seemed
sign?
like a fair price to
You would
me,
think so.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, your best bet, I would think, would be to get the sign put up before you put the awning up, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah,
You'd want to have that done first,
yeah.
so that you'd be able to get up there. Is there any possibility of even making it a little bit bigger than what's already there? I know there's regulations about, from the, building department about signs. There's a square foot regulation about how big it can be.
Okay, I'll ask them and then, I'll call the company and see if they can do it bigger.
At least the lettering, because the lettering is the most important thing.
That's the
Yeah.
whole purpose of having it, right?
So, we had a sign that Kathy must have had years ago in the window that faces, the ramp where Park and Rec is, and it just says Bethel Senior Center, right? And was hanging over in the window, and it wasn't even put up or anything, but it's been there for years since I've been here. So, we were talking the other day in the municipal center, like, about the signs, and geez, it'd be great to just have a sign, people don't know what door to come in, you know? So we took that sign and Andy strapped it onto this bar that blocks the road over here. It works out beautiful, I'm telling you, you see it as soon as you walk in the parking lot. And it really works out nice, you know? People saw the sign in the window and they don't know how to get in.
Right.
If you don't know where you're going, it's really difficult.
Yeah, so this helps a little bit now, so.
That was good.
But Judy, thank you for the friends. I mean, that would be a wonderful.
Even if, well, you know, that's what they're there for,
And if you have money sitting there, I mean, that would be a real.
It would apply, yeah,
That would
right.
be great.
Well, and I'd be happy that if they wanted to pick the colors, to be honest with you, that would be fine. It doesn't matter to me one way or
We
another,
just
so.
did, blue and white is fine.
Okay, blue and white, sounds good.
It'll be a 9-hour discussion.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Not that it has to be, you know, continuous of what is already there, that's not the point, but it does stand out.
yeah, and I think it's a pleasant color.
You can
Mhm,
see
definitely.
the awning, but you can't see the sign up there. So
Right.
it's,
Do you want that in the minutes or?
you don't need to put that in the minutes because they don't,
Okay,
I don't get everybody
no,
together
I
to
hear
see,
you, that's fine.
to see what they have to say.
Okay, do we make motions on the old business and stuff? No, it's just, we said what we wanted to say and we go on to new business.
Okay, under new business, I gave everybody a copy of the calendar for next year. I have to submit it by the end of the month. I presume we stay with our second Monday of the month. Hopefully the dates are correct.
Why change a good thing?
Look at, there's only one day that it has to move to Tuesday next year.
Yeah, I think this year we had two, so that's,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my only concern that I don't have on here is, it says senior center conference room. Because we don't really know
Where it's
with the
gonna
Zoom or where we'll be, so
be. Mm,
we'll just have to, as we put an agenda up each month, designate where it's gonna be. Hopefully, we'll be back to normal in a few months.
Any other new business that you're looking at, Lisa, that you can, that you're?
not really,
I
hoping
did
that,
ask you about personnel. You read there that Maria's taking a leave of absence.
yeah,
Does she qualify then for unemployment, or is it just?
she just really wanted I presented all those things to her. It was her idea to do this.
Oh, okay.
For a variety of reasons, but, she just feels like, they gave us the option to work at home and stagger schedules of staff so that there's not all of us in the office, and should somebody come down with the virus, we're all not gone and the office has to close. Some offices are doing it, some aren't. I chose not to do it right now because with our plexiglass up, we're really behind our plexiglass and we can work in different rooms. So I felt that there wasn't a need to do that right now, but being that she's a little bit older with her age, they're recommending people that are a little bit older to work from home. And she just felt there wasn't enough for her to do at home too, that, this would be the best option for her right now. So she has a choice coming back in April, and I told her if she wants to come back earlier, she's welcome to do that. But right now, that's what it's set up as.
Well, it'll all depend on when you can open up again.
Right, right. I'm actually hoping to open in February, but we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens after Christmas. I think January's not gonna be realistic,
Yeah.
but.
Yeah, that's what they said.
But actually, this is a good thing for you because there's no sense spending money if there's nothing to be done. I
Right,
mean,
right.
There probably are other departments that should be doing the same thing and aren't because
Yeah, true.
you have nobody coming in.
Mhm.
Yeah, yep, and, yeah, so it works out fine.
Okay, well, you know, if everybody does a little bit, and we get through this somehow or other.
Yeah.
We'll get to the
It
other
is getting
side.
difficult.
Oh,
It is getting difficult.
Everybody's tired.
yeah.
I think the most, and I really probably shouldn't say this, the most discouraging thing is how Christmas is being downplayed as something that you don't need to do. You know, people are being criticized for putting up lights and making, you know, Christmas be something, and that's getting to be really, I think that's something more to worry about than anything else, you know.
Yeah.
For any religions, I mean, there's all kinds of religions that are celebrating their holidays now. You have Hanukkah, and then you have all these, the Muslim ones that come up.
Kwanzaa and everything.
People that are making fun of all of these religious holidays, that's getting depressing.
I didn't realize.
I find.
Yeah, I haven't heard too much of that, but I've noticed more people put lights up, it
Yeah.
seems like, and
And it
people have the
is
time
nice.
to do it this year, you know? So that's
And
been,
real trees.
kinda
There's
nice
so
in the
many
neighborhoods
real
and-
trees.
That's right.
yeah, people have said they've sold out early, so those guys are in good shape.
I talked to someone that works at Michael's. She works in Michael's, I don't know, 3 o'clock in the morning or something to put stuff out on the shelves from the back room when the trucks come in. She said they have no trees left,
Wow.
and people were fighting over the display trees
Oh, my.
that they had.
Oh,
And
my.
somebody else said that they looked to find a 12-foot tree for her daughter, because she said, your tree's not big enough for your house. She said, there's not a tree to be had.
Wow.
Online, you know, she
Wow.
was looking online for.
Oh,
And
wow.
we have, I have to tell you, we have a baby tree this year. We have a big tall ceiling. We've always had a big tall tree. And I said, I'm not dragging this stuff out, you know, for all this. Well, we have a little bitty baby tree. The baby's about
That's
6
nice,
feet, he's
too.
about 6 feet tall.
Aw.
So, you know, you have to adapt in things that you thought were, but I found some Santa Claus lights that you plug in and they light up, so I'm
Oh,
gonna
that's
I'm gonna
fun.
find somewhere to string them up.
Oh, that's
That
fun.
sounds great, yeah, that's fun. Yeah.
And a couple of plants, that's all you really need, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Try to make merry the best you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I make a motion, I move that we adjourn.
Okay, I'll second it.
3:29, okay, thanks, Brian.
Wow, good